CTV News with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with the severe winter weather, with London and surrounding areas under blizzard and cold warnings. Joining me now is Gary Archibald. Gary, what are we looking at for tonight and into the weekend?
Into tomorrow morning, wind chill values likely, Lauren, in that 28 to 33 below feel. Imagine that. Minus 25 and colder. We're starting to see frostbite developing, exposed skin within a couple of minutes. That's the areas painted in blue. And add to that, the areas, those municipalities shaded in red. We're talking about snow squall activity. Upwards of about 15 to 20 centimeters is possible through the overnight, and finally ending around midday on Saturday. It's still quite cold with blustery conditions through Sunday morning. I'll break down everything you need to know through the weekend and beyond coming up. Lauren?
Thanks, Gary. London Fire Department is responding to a structure fire near Highbury and Edge Valley Road. Crews say the fire is coming from the 4th floor of a building under construction. They say a defensive fire attack is underway. New details have emerged from London police about what they are calling a complex investigation near Western University. They revealed additional weapons and explosives have been located in Ontario and Quebec, while tempering concerns over national security threats. With more, here's Rita Ismail.
London police held a media briefing providing an update on what has become a multi-jurisdictional investigation spanning into Ottawa and Gatineau, Quebec.
130 Chancery Court in Orleans and 24 Rue de Fagnon, Gatineau, Quebec were both searched as a result of this investigation with information that had been learned. It led to the further location of firearms and explosives.
Police say items seized during the multiple search warrants suggest the accused were manufacturing firearms and explosives. However, investigators emphasizing no apparent threats to national security.
At this point in the investigation, we are not, this is not a terrorism investigation. This is not a national security investigation. We have partnered with OPP and RCMP to ensure that they are informed, engaged, and have the opportunity to provide their expertise and input.
Authorities confirming today that all 4 accused are current or former Western University students. They face a long list of charges, and they all remain in custody. Police also say they are aware of videos posted to YouTube by one of the accused showing a pitch of a startup called Morris Lab.
They're building a mobile and low-cost system capable of detecting and defeating micro and mini uncrewed aerial systems.
We are absolutely aware of the video on the internet. It forms part of our investigation. The specifics of how it relates to the investigation and what we're able to derive from that video is something I'm just not able to comment on at this time.
The investigation began 2 weeks ago after a trespassing incident on Western University grounds led police to a home on Chesham Place in University Heights, where chemicals capable of producing explosives were discovered. Police say more updates are expected as the investigation continues to evolve. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
South Bruce OPP say a 56-year-old man was killed in a snowmobile crash last night near Chesley. According to police, it happened around 10:30 on Bruce Road 11. Police say the snowmobile and a vehicle collided, sending the rider to hospital where they were pronounced dead. The man's identity has not been released. A warning for drivers tonight from a pair in Huron County who say they recently had a near miss with a transport truck. Scott Miller has more on their experience and how they ended up in a ditch.
Look at our car's coming out.
Michelle LaCharity and Jean Irvin watched helplessly, but thankfully, as the SUV they were driving in was delicately pulled from a ditch near Grand Bend last Thursday. The pair were driving to an early morning exercise class when they were passed by a transport truck on Dashwood Road.
So what he did is he swerved around us, and as he went by us, all the snow from the top of the transport truck fell on top of our car, and we basically could see nothing. It was a total whiteout.
As a result of the sudden whiteout from the transport truck's roof snow, Irvin and LaCharity ended up in the ditch, narrowly avoiding a tree. They called CAA, who sent a tow truck from Hensel to pull them out. but they were definitely rattled.
I think the transport truck, it was so big that it basically pushed us off that narrow Dashwood Road into the ditch. And so probably the force of the truck just, and all the snow on top of us just sent us down the embankment. So it was scary.
It certainly was, yeah.
With some more wicked winter weather on the way tonight and into the weekend, these kinds of stories are a reminder that you don't know if something bad's going to happen out on the roadways until it does.
If I'm ever behind anyone who's going slowly because of the weather, I just stay behind them. And I realize that it's sloppy conditions and the weather may not be great. So it's only going to be a few more minutes till I get to my destination. So that is my one thing I wish, if I want to pass anything on to not only big transport truck drivers, but any drivers. This is the time of year when we encounter this. And I think we just have to be a little more patient.
Police say they see stories like this on a daily basis during inclement weather. They say drivers have a responsibility to clean off their vehicles, no matter how big or tall they are, and only pass when it is safe to do so.
Be safe, be patient on the roadways. Please reduce your speed when the weather gets bad.
In Huron County, Scott Miller, CTV News.
The newest Stats Canada data shows a jump in the unemployment rate for the London area. The local rate is about 8.2% for last month. There were 4,500 fewer full-time jobs in January compared to December, combined with a gain of 1,600 part-time positions. Full-time employment was down more than 13,000 jobs in that period compared to the peak in October 2023, but about 4,000 more than the lowest point in late 2024. In Midwestern Ontario, the unemployment rate rose a full percentage point month to month to nearly 5% in January. The fifth and final person convicted in the body in a barrel murder case was given a lengthy prison sentence today. With more from the London courthouse, here's Nick Paparella.
5.5 years after the body of 59-year-old Grant Norton was found stuffed in a white plastic barrel along the Thames River, the final person convicted in this case has been sentenced. A total of 5 people would be arrested in connection with the killing. Originally charged with murder, in October, 34-year-old Wesley Peters pled guilty to the lesser but included offense of manslaughter. The court has heard that Norton, a known drug dealer, was lured to this apartment along Adelaide Street South in July of 2020 to make a deal. Instead, he was tied up, beaten, and killed because Peters and the others suspected he had a large amount of cash on him. In her victim impact statement submitted to the court, Norton's mother said of her son, "He did not deserve to die like this, and it is the torture that rivets through my body and wakes me up at night in helpless tears and anguish." The court has heard that Peters was among those who beat Norton, with Senior Justice Bruce Thomas saying, while tied up, Peters struck him with the handgun that he possessed. The court has heard that Peters has a lengthy and violent criminal record, with the judge saying he's had 7 violent offenses, including armed robbery. In a joint sentencing submission, both the Crown and the defense requested an 18-year prison term with credit for time already served. Justice Thomas agreed, meaning Peters has 10 years and 7 months left to serve. Out of the other 4 people convicted in the case, only Ashley Bourget, who was the so-called ringleader, received a longer sentence of life in prison after being found guilty of first-degree murder. Before the hearing ended, Peters addressed the court, saying, "I'm sorry for the family and friends of Grant Norton for the loss my actions have caused. I have no one to blame but myself." Nick Paparella, CTV News.
City councillors are considering whether an emergency shelter at Boyle Community Centre should be open more often. As Brian Bicknell reports, that's generating mixed feelings for neighbours about the community impact.
Another cold winter night is about to fall on the Forest City. Residents of Old East get set for what one neighbor calls a convoy of those seeking refuge from the elements.
It starts about 6 o'clock at night, the convoy, obviously, and then at around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, it's, everyone disperses. So it's they've got their smokes and their whatever they're doing.
Darcy de Calloway lives a stone's throw from Boyle Community Centre. During extreme cold, it becomes a temporary shelter for up to 60 people. He says area streets become a mess, as seen in these pictures of discarded booze containers, cigarette packs, and drug paraphernalia. And he says the centre attracts emergency services through the night.
There's fire trucks and police and ambulances.
Currently, the city opens the centre to homeless Londoners when the temperature drops to -15 with a wind chill of -20. A council committee is recommending adjusting the policy to -15 temperature or -20 wind chill, using just a single criterion. This week, councillors learned the proposed change could triple the number of nights the emergency shelter is open each winter, from about 10 to 30.
It's likely 20 or 20 plus more activations from the original 10.
Adding the 20 extra nights would come at a cost to taxpayers of about $290,000. Many neighbors believe it is the right thing to do.
So if we have people that are in need of that when it is really cold, then why wouldn't we want to use that for that purpose?
As long as it's well supervised, I don't think it's a problem. These people need to get warm.
In the meantime, we can expect a couple more days of frigid temperatures. The health unit extending the extreme cold weather alert through the weekend. City Council doesn't vote on the new recommendations for enhanced cold weather response until Tuesday.
I totally understand why they're doing it, but the problem is I don't think they planned it accordingly, knowing what we're dealing with. I mean, the city's probably hoping it was never going to get this cold, right?
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Years into London's worsening homelessness crisis, there are questions at City Hall about what's working, what's not, and what to prioritize amid a multi-million-dollar funding shortfall. With more, here's Daryl Newcomb.
Last week, a council committee supported a new framework for City Hall's housing stability services, based on receiving $4.5 million less in federal funding starting March 31st. Much of the remaining $44 million funds service contracts with frontline agencies.
My concern is the renewal of the contracts for 2 years unevaluated.
Councillor Susan Stevenson believes during the transition period, the current contract should be extended for just 1 year, with a 1-year renewal contingent on data that shows which homelessness programs are working and if any are not.
How often is EMS and police and fire there? What are the outcomes of people? We say people are being housed, but is it safe and secure? Is it long lasting?
But Councillor Skylar Frank supports sticking with the 2-year contract renewal recommended by city staff.
They can find efficiencies by having contracts confirmed for longer than 1 year. I can see that some members of council would like to see these contracts every single year. I can appreciate that. They're trying to do their due diligence. Sometimes I find, though, frankly, that they use it as an opportunity just to point fingers and cast blames and cast aspersions.
Stevenson reiterates concerns from neighbors about some problematic apartments she says are part of municipal housing programs.
I'm finding that some of the drug dens in my area are taxpayer supported, taxpayer funded. That is a huge problem.
Some members of council choose to use inflammatory language because they like to create performative outrage in the community. But I think, again, when you look at the numbers that we have from agencies, by and large, most people are doing well.
Ahead of next week's meeting here at City Hall, some new data is coming forward about some of London's supportive housing programs. But how that'll be interpreted and what it means going forward will be up to City Council. The Middlesex London Paramedic Service could provide CTV News with the number of calls near the House of Hope. However, House of Hope data for actual responses to their building reveal much lower call volumes. Last year, CTV News showed the condition inside this apartment rented through a Housing First program. But data sent to councillors on Friday from St. Leonard's Community Services shows 85% of tenancies have no noticeable issues. 351 people are currently housed, with only 18 tenancy interventions for behavior and 4 units with significant damage.
I actually reached out to some corporate landlords and they said about 1% of their units are trashed, which is in line with what we see within our public sector.
But Stevenson emphasizes the units that have problems disrupt entire entire buildings.
To think that it is part of our policies that are enabling this to continue is something that has to be addressed.
Council will consider how to proceed on Tuesday. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
The London Knights held a memorial tonight at Canada Life Place for iconic London sports broadcaster Pete James.
Pete called London Knights games for nearly 40 seasons. In October 2010, Pete was enshrined in London Knights history with his banner, which hangs to this day inside Canada Life Place. At this time, as you are able, we would ask that you please rise and remove your hats and join us in a moment of silence as we pay tribute to and honor the life of Mr. Pete James.
James started his career in St. Catharines before moving to London, where he spent 25 years as the station's sports director. He later became the color commentator for the London Knights until his retirement in 2010. He was 89 years old. The Knights went on to pull off an epic comeback tonight, sure to make James proud.
Puck, high slot area, Will Nichols shooting! He scores!
Facing off against the Niagara Ice Dogs, the Knights were down 4-1 in the second, but would force this one to overtime. William Nicol gained possession of the puck and buried it. The Knights went on to win 5-4 the final and will take on the Saginaw Spirit tomorrow night. Coming up, the 2026 Olympic Games are officially underway. How this year's setup is looking a little different from years prior. Strength in the base metals sector helped Canada's main stock index rise to close out the week. The TSX gained 476 points. In New York, the Dow is up 1,200 points. The Nasdaq added 491. The Canadian dollar gained 0.15 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold added $90 an ounce. Oil is up 29 cents a barrel. A woman in Toronto is warning others about her experience stepping into the world of private lending. As Pat Foran reports, people providing these loans can charge higher interest rates than banks, but they also come with added risk.
It was a relief. It was financial freedom, I thought.
Deanna Johnson of Whitby is a single parent with 3 boys. She has a full-time job and works part-time to pay the bills. That's why she was interested when she heard she could earn income providing loans.
I found out about private lending through social media, Instagram Reels, how to get like a second income to work for you.
Johnson went to her bank and took out a line of credit for $150,000. She found a company to loan out the funds and says the first year went great. She received interest payments of $3,000 each month.
It was a financial relief, some wiggle room.
But Johnson says last year the payments started to be late and then they stopped completely. In June, she asked for her funds to be returned. She's been trying to get her money back for the past 7 months without success.
I would like my money back, my $150,000.
Johnson gave the funds to Deneen Griffith of Unifocus Investments. When CTV News contacted Griffith, she said, "We are currently conducting a full internal review with the third-party company involved. Our priority is protecting our clients and ensuring all appropriate steps are taken."
Just like anything in the world, the higher the interest rate you're being offered, the bigger the risk.
Mark Ting is a financial expert who says people who need private loans have usually been turned down by banks and other traditional lenders. He says that makes it risky, and anyone considering private lending should be extremely cautious.
I would not be comfortable doing that myself, and I probably wouldn't be recommending anybody doing that unless they're extremely wealthy on their own and they could afford to lose that $150,000.
Johnson says she is now stressed and frustrated and worries the $150,000 she lent out could be gone for good.
I feel like I'm back to square one where I started, and it's really will impact my family.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Good evening. I'm meteorologist Gary Archibald for CTV News. Wind chill values minus 25 to even minus 33 developing through the overnight. Area of low pressure sustaining this northwesterly flow, and that northwesterly flow means snow squalls developing. We've already seen it right through the heart of the Midwestern tier of southern Ontario. Add to that blowing snow, drifting snow, frigid cold, reduced visibilities on area roads the next 24 to 48 hours. Could be significant for your travels, no doubt. I'll break down what you need to know just ahead, right here on CTV News.
Gary joins me now with your full weather forecast. Gary, it's a cold one out there tonight.
Cold tonight, cold tomorrow morning, Lauren. Anticipating wind chill values, as mentioned previously, in that minus 25 to maybe even minus 35 range. And more of the same with these northwesterlies. It's getting windy already. Fetching across Lake Huron, Georgian Bay, we could see significant snow squall activity. What does that mean for us? Traveling on area roads, reduced visibility, blinding snow, blowing snow, drifting snow. You get the idea. We've been through this before. Now it's concentrated tonight into tomorrow morning. Reach a high of -2. That's average, normal for this time of the year, statistically speaking, of course. And we're still looking at temperatures that will obviously plummet through tonight and then rebound into next week. Surprisingly so. More on that in just a moment. Lake effect streamers coming off Lake Huron in particular, Grand Bend, Goderich, Kincardine, Southampton. If you live in Hanover, perhaps Listowel, Mitchell, our friends in Mount Forest, Shelburne could all see it. And I always mention the major arteries through the region. Notice how this cold air, polar air mass descends. In fact, it's moving from north to south. Those northwesterlies creating those streaks of snow across the Great Lakes, Superior, Michigan, Huron, and of course, Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Now, if the winds set up for squalls, which can be really defined as intense bands of snow over a relatively short period of time, these numbers will obviously escalate, right? We could see 15 to 20 centimeters instead of 5 to 10. And blowing snow, drifting snow, reducing visibility to less than a kilometer, half that for sure. Take a look at these overnight temperatures. This is not the wind chill values projected. These are core temperatures projected, feeling like -28 to about -33. Some models suggesting -35 in some areas across the entire region of southern Ontario proper. Here's your breakdown for Saturday in the great city of London. I'm calling for cloudy conditions, windy, and it's cold. In the morning, already feeling like -27 at 8 a.m. Snow squall risk, meaning whiteout conditions a possibility. Brief but intense snowfall and accumulations. By, say, 5 p.m., up to -13. That's our high, maybe even -12. Our average for this time of the year, closer to -2. The next 7 days are interesting, right? Frigid through the weekend, still cold Monday, flurries, and then warming up. We'll be above seasonal through the midweek. A rain-snow mix. Watch for snow and ice melt, and that refreeze could pose some problems. The Midwest, snow squalls in particular, concerned. Frigid in the morning and again through next morning. That is Sunday morning. Still cold Monday. Flurries through Tuesday, Wednesday, but temperatures rebounding. +1, 0 degrees. Where did that come from? The weather pattern, rather, will be changing significantly. Something to look forward to. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and warmly so. Good night.
Thanks, Gary. The 2026 Winter Olympic Games are officially underway, and for the first time, the events are spread across northern Italy. With more from Milan, here's Heather Butts.
Meeting this crew from the Netherlands, already a highlight for Ontario's Marga Wilson during her Olympic experience.
Bucket list, definitely. To see all the different athletes from all the different countries is so exciting.
The Olympic motto, after all, is about celebrating the unifying power of sport.
I'm hoping Canada goes gold, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you met some Czech hockey player at the airport yesterday. So you did wish him luck, but secretly he said not too much luck.
A unique aspect of these games is how spread out the events are. Organizers wanted to use existing infrastructure as much as possible, but this means no central hub.
It's missing a little bit of snow, to be honest. Canada would be better to host them, but it's nice to be in the city. I feel like in the mountains will feel like more of the Winter Olympics.
I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more like fan zones here, and I didn't quite see that, but maybe they're just spread out more through like Cortina and Livigno, so we'll see.
Competitions are taking place all over northern Italy, making this the most widespread Olympic sports setup in history. The games will span over 22,000 square kilometers. A trip between Milan and Cortina could take upwards of 6 hours. It means not all of Team Canada's athletes will be in the same village or region throughout the games.
You know, giving a high five to an athlete in another sport, or even the gentle smile when you're under such pressure, can make a huge difference.
Olympic champion and Canada chef de mission Jennifer Heil admits it will be a different experience, but the team is turning to technology with video chats and highlight reels to help unite them.
I think there's a trade-off between, you know, the positive and the negative. I think for the Olympic movement, it's very positive that we're going to venues that already exist that make it more sustainable and easier to host.
The last time Italy hosted the Winter Games in Turin in 2006, medal ceremonies were held each day in the center of the city, creating a buzz, adding to the Olympic spirit. Because of the distance, this year medal ceremonies will be held at the venues immediately following the competitions. Heather Butts, CTV News, Milan.
CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca.
A takeover is reportedly in the works for the famous Peanuts gang.
Hey, Charlie Brown, you're smiling now. That's right, I am.
Sony Group announced last month it was taking an 80% stake in Peanuts worldwide. The company's most recent quarterly earnings report shows it's considering ways to incorporate characters from the world of Charlie Brown into music, video, and live events. Sony executives said they plan to closely collaborate with the family of the Peanuts creator if the deal goes through as expected. That's our time tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Lauren Stallone. Have a good night.